Good morning, boys and girls. This is lesson 14.2, and it is about polygons. So first we look at our vocabulary. We have lots of vocabulary in this chapter. So remember, it's going to be important for you to study your terms, and they're all in like yellow color, so you'll know that they're very important. So this first lesson that we have on the shapes, because the last one was on angles, it discusses polygons. So there's a couple of important things that they did not highlight that I'd like to highlight here. So a polygon is a closed two-dimensional figure formed by three or more straight sides that do not cross each other. So this is an important word here, that the figure must be closed. It cannot be left open. So it needs to, from all four sides, be closed, or 5 or 6. You'll see what I mean. The sides must be straight. Okay, so no curves can be there. And they do not cross each other means they do not overlap. Okay, so if you take a look at this shape, they do not overlap each other. They're not coming on top of each other. Okay, so that's important in this. It says here, you can classify polygons using one or more of the following attributes. An attribute is a characteristic of a figure. So this lesson has a very important attribute chart. It's right here. So when they build a chart like this into the lesson, you really need to use this because it's telling you what the name of the shape is. It's telling you how many sides are in the shape and how many angles. Okay, and you learned about angles in the first lesson, so you know what that means. So, for example, over here, this is, when you're looking at sides, we'd say 1, 2, 3 sides. That's where they're getting this from. And there's also 3 angles. This would be one angle, this inside would be one angle, and this right here would be one angle. So all 3 together gives you 3 angles. So definitely refer back to this. We are looking at a triangle, which is obviously a 3-sided figure. Quadrilaterals, there's several quadrilaterals. They're only giving you 2 here. They're giving you a trapezoid and a square. Of course, you know that a rectangle would be right here as well. This is a pentagon. A lot of kids think this is the only way that a pentagon can look. Any 5-sided closed shape is a pentagon. Okay. Here you have a hexagon. They're purposely giving you these kind to show you that, listen, all of the pentagons, hexagons, and octagons that you meet are not going to look like this. Some of them are going to look like this. As long as they're closed, they have straight sides, and they match up with the correct amount of angles, you can classify them in the pentagon, hexagon, and octagon group. Okay, so let's get going on some of this. This lesson is much easier, I think, than the angles lesson that we did. Very, very simple to identify. So, for example, if we're looking here, let's go to number 3. So what we're going to do before we guess the name, we're going to look at sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm seeing 5 sides, and I'm looking at angles. So here, 1, right? This would be 2. This would be 3, 4, and 5. So I have 5 sides, 5 angles. I'm going to refer back to my chart here. Where do I see 5 sides, 5 angles? Right here, right? So this is a pentagon. Okay, so we don't just make it up. We count our angles, we count our sides, and then we could refer back to our chart. Okay, so that's how you do this page. And this question I wanted to review with you because it kind of challenges the definition or explains the definition of a polygon. Okay, so if you look here, explain to a friend, right? Explain why each figure below is not a polygon. So if you go back to the definition that I went and highlighted, do you see how there's an opening here? So because of that opening, we cannot classify this as a polygon. Polygons are closed shapes, okay? They cannot have openings like this. So even though here the sides might be straight, because it's not closed, we cannot call this a polygon, okay? In here, now most of you are looking at this saying, oh, well, that looks like a polygon to me. But if you go back to our definition, it says that the 3 or more straight sides that do not cross each other. Okay, so let's go back to our picture here. They do cross each other here. They're crossing right here. They're crossing right here. So that's why these two, unfortunately, do not qualify within this family. Okay, I hope that explains this. This is very important for you to see examples of what a polygon is not, so you so that's clear in your head. Okay. All right. Thank you, boys and girls.